Hello, good people. It's Rob Lee. I want to read something to you that I penned this morning. I've always tried to tell you that the key to understanding this world and the Holy Scriptures is to understand what's symbolic and what's literal. And I wrote this story, and some of it's based on truth, and some of it is me paraphrasing, ad-libbing, and putting my own style to it. Time grows shorter. In fact, it grows shorter than most can imagine on their most creative days. If you live in a kingdom and you are protected, loved, and have what you need furnished to you by your king, then naturally you would feel love, loyalty, and the willingness to die and fight for your king. Logically, you would not be friends or support the enemies of your king. In any kingdom, if you reject the king and support his enemies, the king will reject you. In our narrative, our king readies himself to go on a journey. Before leaving, he gathers his family together and gives them very simple instructions on how to behave while he is away. He warns them that he will reward those who are faithful and loyal to him, and he will punish and even slaughter those who betray him. Before leaving, he tells his family to watch out for his enemies, and do not let them come into the kingdom under any circumstances, for his kingdom is so powerful. The only way the enemies can succeed in taking over his kingdom is if the people allow them. The king leaves and takes a powerful detachment of his army with him. The king and his small army climb to the highest mountaintop and set up camp. And for the next month, the king and his army begin to watch his kingdom and those in it very carefully. It did not take long before the majority of the king's subjects have opened up the kingdom to the enemy. In a very short time, they are overwhelmed by the enemy's devices. They succumb to everything filthy, vile, and evil. They become as wild beasts. They forget about their king and begin to worship the enemy. The people lose almost everything they have. The enemy steals it all, even their identity. The king patiently watches it all from his mountaintop stronghold. The king knew who would be loyal and who would forsake him, for he is the one who searches the reins and tries the hearts. The king feels the pain and the hurt of his loyal subjects who constantly cry out to him to please come back quickly. Many of his loyal subjects are murdered, imprisoned, and made to suffer for his sake. The hexagram invites people from other kingdoms to come and invade the kingdom, take wives, and help to erase the king's family. The king continues to watch. His anger grows and his blood boils, and then it happens. When nobody expects it, it happens. The king awakens his incredibly powerful army. He tells them it's time to return. The remaining king's subjects see him coming in the distance, for they have been watching. They knew he would return. He loved them, and he always kept his word. They cry, they rejoice, they sing. They are ready for the return of their king. The enemy also happens to see the king coming, and they begin to cry, not in happiness, but in sheer fright. The enemies and the unfaithful try to hide among the king's loyal subjects, but the king is having none of it. His army removes his own family, and now the only ones remaining are his enemies. He gathers them all together. He smiles at them. He is incredibly beautiful, and he is all-powerful. He smiles again and tells them, I'm going to do to you every single deed that you did to my family, and then I'm going to repeat it as often as I choose, because there is nothing that you can do about it. But before I do this, I want you to bow down and worship before the feet of my loyal subjects. Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. Jacob, Israel. The king has returned. Keep oil in your lanterns, keep a steady watch, endure, and be strong, for your king is coming soon, folks. Stay strong and stay the course. We are closer than you can possibly imagine. In the name of Jesus Christ.